So if you follow the tech community on Twitter, you'll likely be familiar with the serverless versus self-hosting, aka VPS debate. Serverless has gotten a lot of negative press recently due to a number of developers getting absurdly high and unexpected bills. Serverless exists because it's an abstraction. It allows developers relief from the complexity of self-hosting. It allows them to move quickly while remaining relatively safe. But the problem is this: serverless solutions have perpetuated this belief that self-hosting is hard. Self-hosting may be harder than serverless solutions, but it most definitely is not difficult, and it is orders of magnitude cheaper than serverless solutions. In this video, I'll show you how easy it is to get a simple example live and deployed from buying the domain to visiting the website in your browser. So for this video, I'm doing a new technique which I found from a Twitter user called Dan, and I'll leave his blog in the description so you can see all the commands there. Now with that said, let's get into the video. So the very first thing that we need to do is we need to sign up for a domain. So I'm going to go to Cloudflare to do this. So I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to log in. I'm going to accept cookies, log in over here. And if you don't have an account, make sure you sign up for an account. And where you're going to go is domain registration and register domains and search for a domain. In this case, I know exactly what I want.
2,000 years later.
So once you have purchased your domain, go to domain registration and manage domains, and you'll be able to see your domain here in this view. And as you can see, I've got mine here and it's active. So next what you're going to do is you're going to open up your terminal of choice. In this case, I'm using WesTerm, and you're going to create an SSH key. Now I don't really need this SSH key because I've already got one, so I'm not going to create one, but this is important for you if you're just starting out. So next what you're going to do is you're going to go to Hetzner over here, and then you go to login. Now I'm already logged in, so if I open the cloud, it's going to sign me in already. But what you'll need to do if you don't have an account already is to get signed up, open up the login, log into your account, and then you'll get to a page that looks like this if you go to cloud. So I'm going to click on default here, and I'm going to click on servers, and I'm going to add a server. In this case, for this video, I'm going to use the server that I already have. But if you want to add a server, you click add server, and you can select the region that you want it in. I usually use Ubuntu, but you can use a different version of Linux. You can decide whether to use a shared vCPU or dedicated vCPU. I normally keep this section as is, and you select your SSH key. Now the SSH key that you made earlier, you're going to want to add it in here. And apart from that, I usually keep everything else the same, and then I give the server a name, and then I purchase the server. And you get quite good options. If you see here, you can go as low as €3.95 a month, which is great. Or if you want to go dedicated, you can go €14.39 a month, which is also great. Now, what you want to do after you have set up your server is to copy the public IP address. So I'm going to go here and click copy to copy the IP address. Then what you want to go and do is go into Cloudflare. So once you've purchased your server and you've set it up, you're going to want to create a new DNS record in Cloudflare. So you want to open up Cloudflare, you want to go to manage your domains, and when you're in manage your domains, you want to click the domain that you want to manage, and then you're going to want to go to DNS configuration for that domain. And now that you're in this view for the DNS records, you can click add record. And in this case, we're going to use an A record. And I'm going to type @ for name. And the IP address that we copied for the Hetzner server, we're going to paste it in here. Once we pasted the IP address, we're going to go down and hit save. So once you've set up your A record, you're going to want to go to SSL and TLS, and you're going to configure this, and you're going to select SSL TLS custom and set it to full, and then save. So now you're going to access your Hetzner server using the SSH key that you created earlier. So if you see on screen, I've got this SSH command that I'm going to run in my terminal, and just replace it with the location of your SSH key that you created earlier, and also the IP address of your Hetzner server. So once you're in your server, you're going to want to run these commands that you see here on screen. If you want the exact commands, you can copy them from the blog that I linked in the description. Now you're going to want to run these commands to enable caddy on boot. Hit enter when you're ready. Now you're going to want to open up the caddy file like so. And you're going to replace the entire caddy file with the following. So you're going to replace your domain with your domain. So in this case, I'm going to replace this with the domain that I signed up for. So ooms.dev, and go over here, ooms.dev, right. So what's great about caddy is that it will get the SSL certificates and renew them for you. So you get HTTPS out of the box, and you don't really have to do anything at all. So now you're going to run this command to reload caddy and apply your changes. So now we're going to set up a super simple Node.js app to show that our changes are working. So in the home directory of my server, I'm just going to create a directory. I'm going to call it dev to contain my projects. I'm going to cd into dev. Now that I'm in dev, I'm going to create a brand new project. I'm just going to call it my dash app, and cd into my dash app. So if you've created this server from scratch, you probably don't have Node.js and npm installed. So you want to run the following commands. These are the commands that you can see on screen right now. Once you've installed npm, you're going to want to run the following command that you see on screen right now. pm2 is used to keep our app running even when it fails, and it's a really useful package. Now, when you're in the my app directory, you're going to want to npm init-y. So now I've initialized a node repository in this folder. I'm going to now npm install express. Now I'm going to create a file called app.js. So now that I'm in the app.js file, I'm simply going to add the following code just to keep the example short and sweet. So all we're doing in this code is we are importing Express, and we are running this app on the port 3000. And all we want to do is when a user comes to our website, we want to show them hello world, and that's it. So now what you want to do is run this pm2 command. And what pm2 will do is start the app.js file and keep it running and give it the name my-node-app. So hit enter to start that. And you should see this nice screen which lets you know that it's online and running. So now you're going to open your web browser and you're going to type in your domain at the top. In this case, I'm typing in ooms.dev and then hit enter, and we get hello world on the screen. Isn't that amazing? That is incredibly simple. It is a crime that more people don't know how easy it is to do this. So now we can do anything. We could create a Next.js web app and deploy it on localhost 3000, and that gets distributed to everyone that comes to our website. It could be a Next.js app, it could be a solid app, Svelte app, whatever you want can be deployed on localhost 3000, and it just works alongside Cloudflare, alongside Hetzner. And Cloudflare adds a lot of things for free, such as DDoS protection, for example. And now the cost stays at the Hetzner price. Whatever you're paying for Hetzner, you're not going to pay any more than that. As you get more and more users, you might want to increase the size of your server, but you get so much. And what we do as developers is we try and optimize the technology too much. But the thing is, most of the apps that we deploy, we're not going to get millions of users coming to our website all the time. We'll get a very small amount of users to begin with, and then maybe if our application or our product blows up, we'll get more users. But there's no point optimizing for that. Optimize for something simple that is not going to break your bank account anytime soon and will remain at that price. And then you can always look to serverless if that's a better option in the future. Or you could just stick with Hetzner and increase the size of your servers, and then you get so many things for free. So the point of this video is to show that this is extremely simple. You can see that in the video. It's a crime that people are convincing us developers that this is hard. It's not hard. If I can do it, anyone can do it. I've just been copying commands around and that's it. You can make this as well, and you don't have to use this simple Express example. You can just put in an Next.js app on localhost 3000 and there you go, it's done. If you're not convinced to use self-hosting over serverless after this video, that's completely fine. Do whatever works for you. That's the main thing. Don't let any developer convince you otherwise. But I hope that if you get one thing from this video, is that self-hosting is not hard. It may take a few more steps to get there, but it's not hard. And if you want to scale in the future, you can just increase your resources on Hetzner. And that's it. That's literally it. So thank you so much for watching this video. What I may do is create some videos on Dockerizing our applications. So maybe Dockerizing this example, or Dockerizing a Next.js app and deploying it on port 3000, and maybe including an example that uses CI/CD pipelines as well with GitHub and Docker. If you want to see any videos like that, please let me know. And if you have any issues with this, please do let me know in the comments and I'll try and help you out. Thanks.